Hey there, Melissa with Atlas CFO, and today I'm talking about frequently asked questions regarding accounting software. Now, I have some caveats. Today we're going to focus on commercial construction, not residential home building. We're also going to be focusing on US based. This is important because we have certain requirements and certain currencies that are kind of specific to software. So not all software deals in multiple currencies, and certainly not all software is built for construction. So we're really focusing on these few items: US based, commercial, construction contractors. Let's get started. So one of the questions I get is, what accounting software should I use? Oh my gosh, I can't answer that, especially whenever I don't know you. So here's some tips. It depends on what size of contractor you are, what kind of contractor you are, your budget for sure, and what other softwares are you already using. If you've got a project management software that you just love, then you're going to look for accounting software that integrates with it. Versus if you're starting from scratch, then you might even have kind of a bigger build out. There's not one software that's going to work for everyone. I'll say here in a little bit, we work in 14 different software packages. There's probably, I don't even know, 30, 50 software packages just in the US for contractors. So there's a lot out there, and it does take a minute to figure out which one's going to fit best for you. You also have to think about what kind of commitment you want to have. Some of these software packages are very big, and it's not something that you want to take on as a smaller contractor. You would wait until you're quite a bit larger. When should I change software? This is also one. Well, it depends. You can see there's a lot of those, but I'll give you a few tips. Most of our contractors find they want to change software between about $5 and $8 million in revenue. That doesn't mean that they always have to. We have a $40 million company still in QuickBooks Desktop. It doesn't mean that you can't do it or you have to change software. It's just that that's whenever most people kind of get frustrated, or they find that they're working too much outside the software. They've got an Excel spreadsheet and they've got QuickBooks going. So you'll see that there's kind of just this pressure point where you're just frustrated with it, or you think, gosh, it's got to be better than this. I feel like I'm working in too many different places. A lot of our contractors find that they need to change software because their customers are requiring something that their current software package couldn't handle. So you got to think about all the different things. You don't have to change. You get the most out of your software. It's working. Keep it. But most of the time people start in like a QuickBooks product. They get to that $5 to $7 million, $8 million range, and they just think that they want more. They want more features that are really built for our industry. One more thing I'll just mention here. I've been doing this a while. I think 27 years, gray hair. And whenever I started, we didn't really have a lot of options for software. In fact, most of the time we were borrowing from manufacturing software. Now we have a lot of options. There are so many wonderful construction accounting packages, so many wonderful construction-based even add-ons that are in our marketplace now, that it is such an exciting time to think about software and the changes and all the things that are happening. So even if you've looked a couple of years ago, you might look again today because it's changing so quickly. And we have so many more resources, which is wonderful and exciting to be able to be a part of all of the changes and all of the excitement and all of the build out that we're seeing in the software world. When's the best time to start new software? A lot of people want to start it at the beginning of the year. Don't freak yourself out about this. You don't have to. It usually takes 4 to 6 months whenever you change from like a QuickBooks product. I'm just using QuickBooks because that's very common. People start on that piece of software, and then whenever they transition, they'll go to a more construction-based software package. You want to plan for 4 to 6 months to get that software package up and running. I do prefer starting on a quarter, if I can, the start of a new quarter, because payroll is the most intensive part of the new software install, and that just makes it go a little bit easier. Favorite software? Golly. I mentioned we work in 14 different software packages. Over the years, I don't know how many I have been in. I'm just going to say that today, time and date stamp. Today, my favorite is Foundation. Now that could be because I use it the most. It's easy for me to operate, and what most people like is what they use the most. So that's what I like. I also like many of the features and their price point. So there's nothing in it for me to say this. You can certainly contact them on your own. They do have demos on YouTube if you want to watch them. I will say, whenever you get into true construction accounting software, they all have amazing features. And they all have things that are frustrating. It's just like anything else. So even though I may have a favorite, that may not be your favorite. And it's cool. There are so many wonderful packages out there that you've got a whole world, and you've got some that integrate really well with certain other packages, and it takes a minute to figure out which software is going to be the best for you. You don't have to make it on a weekend. In fact, I would encourage you to take 3 to 6 months to decide which software package you should change to if you decide to change. How do I insert this out of my software? The first question is you had to put it in. So if you never put it into your software, you can't get it out of your software. I'm going to give a couple of examples. If you didn't put divisions in your software, you're not going to be able to just get divisions out of your software with magic. It's not magic. It's actually just rows and columns, and you have to tell the software what you want. When you do a setup of new software, you have to do a lot of what I call architecture. You have to come up with, how do I want to put this software together so I can get this information back out? Whenever you think about software, you want to think about, what do I want out of my software so that you can get it into your software. I've talked about how many inputs there are just on a single transaction for construction accounting. And I said that, you might go from like 2 to 4 in normal accounting and 8 to 11 in construction accounting. This is part of this. So you have to think about, what am I wanting my software to give me that I can't get today? Additionally, if you decide what you want your software to do and you don't know how to get it out of your current software, time out, make sure that you can't do it within your software, because it's painful to change software. And if you can get it out of your current piece of software with changing a few things in your setup, that might be the best fit for you. But it has to go in order to get it back out. I have a couple of comments. They're not really questions, but they're comments. They said it integrated, but it doesn't. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. So there's integration, and the way I think about integration is, it's like this. It's truly one piece that they touch each other. It's seamless. And that's wonderful when it works. You have to remember that not every software is truly integrated. That's okay. But whenever you have integrated software, you don't have to do anything. It automatically matches them up. Then there is really what is import, export, export, import. And sometimes people use the word integration with this. It's not a bad thing, but it's more like, we're going to grab this file, we're going to hand it to the other hand, and then we're going to use it. Awesome. There also can be softwares where it's going to take a lot of work to make them work. This is not a fault of the software. It is just that we have databases, so remember rows and columns, and we can't get the two softwares to line up their rows and columns. It's not bad software. It just may not be able to map right. However, there are more and more tools available that will help with mapping if you do want to integrate software or import-export software, that you can make software talk to each other. Even a few years back, this was hard. Today, we're seeing it's getting easier and easier. So my tip on this, before you get any software or any outsourcing or any payroll outsourcing, anything like that, find someone that has the exact setup as you. And your software company may be able to refer somebody. Maybe you're in a peer group that you could ask. Maybe you've just got some friends you could ask. But you want to check with references that have the exact same setup so that you can make sure and ensure that it's going to work for you. And you've also built a network. That means you can call your friend whenever you're in the middle of it and see if they can help you get over some stuck points. I think this is my last one. It's my last one. What is real construction accounting software versus regular accounting software? I'm going to kind of boil it down. So a lot of times you'll get a software package that says we work for construction, or I've got the construction version of it. You have to be very careful because that may or may not be what I would call true construction accounting software. Again, this is US-based commercial contractors that we're talking about. There's kind of a trick. If they have AIA type billing in their software, that is a good indicator that it's actually true construction accounting software. It was built for us. The second thing is some sort of a work in progress report, maybe called something different. Job schedule report, bonding report, a WIP report, over under billing report, goes by a lot of names. But it should be embedded in the software, meaning you should have a canned report that you can hit the button and it's going to produce a % complete report for you on your contracts. Those are the two that we see most common that really separate kind of a general software to a construction software. It doesn't mean that you can't use a general software. QuickBooks, even if it's for contractors, is a general software versus whenever I mentioned foundation, whenever you're going into foundation, it's really built for contractors. You can make either one work, but it's easier if you're using a true construction software because it's already built for you. They already know what you wanted. They baked it into the software. I hope all of this has been helpful for you. And if you decide, oh my gosh, I do think I'm ready to change software. Step one, what I'd recommend is go to peer group referrals. Get somebody to tell you what they like. We have a lot more options today than we used to, and it can be very overwhelming. There isn't one size fits all, but you could get something that would feel good to you and fit within your organization. The second thing is you're going to have official demos, maybe some informal demos. You can find a lot on YouTube. And you're going to want to also investigate what those add-on options are. For example, we might have mobile timekeeping to add on. Or we could have a payroll outsourcing that you could add on. Or you could have a payment processor you can add on. So there's so many different really cool add-ons today that it's good to know what your new software would have. And if you have old software that you're going to keep, that's cool. Go figure out what they're working with right now because they probably have all kinds of integrations or add-ons that would make your life easier. Awesome. And 3, I can't stress this enough. Get references and talk to the references. You're looking for someone who has a very, very similar, if not exact, setup as you. This will save you so much time in making sure that you have the right setup for your organization. Okay, I hope this helped kind of demystify some of the construction accounting questions that you have. Thanks for spending time with me today. I always enjoy it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.